FNGO's The Lunch Break. Hey, I don't. We're gonna have to work on us an intro for this new program that we're doing here. So appreciate you joining us today. This is something new we're gonna be doing here at FNGO. Just kind of giving you guys a little midday daily break show, just while you guys are out and about eating lunch. Normally, I'm surrounded with guys here to talk to, but I'm running solo on this, and so got a couple guys already in the comment section there. Guys, let me just kind of explain to you this show a little bit. There's really no rules of what we're going to do here. It's just something for us to get together and talk. Steven Sturgeon, I see you there from Illinois right there. Cam and Houston Binkley, he was here at 10:58. So definitely different. It's going to take us a while to grow this a little bit. I know a lot of you guys are at work. Tony is eating his grilled chicken and listening. You guys got to help me out on this. So just something. What's up, John? I know you guys are working and I'm working. And generally here at the shop, people come in, just sit down in the chair and everything, and we talk. So we thought, well, maybe this would be something good to do to you guys, for you guys out there. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, and there's some on Facebook. What's up, Doc Holiday? We put it on Facebook, too. I think tomorrow we might even add a TikTok live to this and everything. But it's just something we're going to do every day, just for you and I to get together. Lucas Beck. Hey, Danny from Kentucky. Hey, Lucas. I appreciate that. So, again, no rules on this show. We're going to talk fishing for a little while, but hey, listen, we can talk anything. Tony Watkins, I was going to call you today. I forgot what color jigs you wanted me to tie. So text me those jig colors again. Yeah, Tony Watkins to stretch. So listen, this daily show is going to be whatever we want it to be. If you guys don't want to talk about fish, you want to talk about Trump, you want to talk about baseball, whatever, we'll talk about it. But anyway, I'm glad you guys could join us. And it's going to be a little bit of fun, just a nice little break. We'll go 30 minutes, 45 hours, depending on the conversation, where we go. But we will try to do it every day. We'll try to do it every day. But, of course, some days we can't. But I'm glad you guys are here. So one thing I did want to talk about today, I don't know how many of you guys fished this weekend. My gosh, was it hot. What's up, Derek Spicer? It was absolutely the hottest tournament I have fished in a while. I went with Electric Bass Opens over to Latham. And Saturday's tournament, I've been telling everybody this, was the first tournament at the end of the day when I got home. I've gone home tired, but I went home at the end of the day and I felt old. I actually felt older than my 53 years of age. And yeah, tough to get a bite on Allatoona this morning. Yeah, it is. Corey Hamilton, way too hot, but Allatoona produced. Well, I tell you, it wasn't that bad in the morning. And, we can kind of talk about that. Here's the thing. We talked about this on the live well. And, hey, guys, we got a great live well coming up tonight. John Aldridge's going to be in here with Clint and Alex. And we're going to talk about our favorite soft plastic. So I want you guys to join us tonight at 8. What's up, Silverpunk? But on Thursday night's show, we actually talked. We talked a little bit about hydrating and doing the proper stuff. And so Friday, and I don't ever do this. I never hydrate. So Friday evening, I started drinking water, and I started drinking water with liquid IVs in it because I heard that thrown around the live well a lot. I drank 2 or 3 of those, went to bed. I actually got some sleep, got up, drank a liquid IV and some water, took one with me for the boat, had a cup of coffee, and I did have my Pepsi because I ain't going to go nowhere without a Pepsi. And fished. And then I think I had a Gatorade too, and I fished, and it wasn't that bad. But, Lord, when I got home, I've never felt so drained at all. That was the worst. And a topic, and I want to ask all you guys this question because I am really wanting to know. Now, I run my trolling motor. I don't have a seat in front of my boat, so I stood the entire tournament, and my trolling motor is not recessed. My trolling motor pedal was up, and so, that works your legs anyway. I like wearing Hey Dudes, okay? I wear them here at the shop. Yeah, they get a little nasty and all that, but I like wearing them for comfort and all that. My feet were killing me. They were absolutely killing me. What do you guys wear when you're fishing a tournament for comfort, all day comfort? Like, seriously. Silverpunk, after y'all talked about hydration last week, I started my subscription of LMNT powder packs for water bottles. And Cam jumped in the boat 4 times Saturday. So, I've never had a problem. Something about Saturday's tournament changed my mind. And, I got home, my feet Hell, it's Tuesday. My feet are still a little bit sore. So Jonah says barefoot or flops for me. Tony says, hey, dude, Finn flip flops, Messick Outdoors Crocs. At one point, I took them off, not thinking about how hot it was, and my foot hit that trolling motor thing, and I thought I singed the bottom of my feet. Tony says his legs hurt way less. He usually wore hookahs, and Cam has Crocs. So, hey, dudes don't exactly have the most support, but they're easy to put on and off, and they don't get hot and everything. Houston. Hey, Houston, first of all, I got to give you some props, dude. At 10:58, you were already in the comment section out there. And I was like, dang, he's ready to go. Croc thong slippers. Well, I tell you what, my fat butt also took my shirt off. I got to learn not to do this. So for about 3 hours, I went shirtless. Luckily, there's not that many people on Latham, so I'm not scaring off the pedestrians or anything like that with my fantastic dad bod. But I got a little burnt too. So at the end of the day, I go home. Now, here's the thing is, I thought I was hydrated. I thought I did all the things properly that everybody talks about doing. It was the worst I've ever felt at the end of a tournament. So, I don't know. Do you think it's because I did hydrate? I did take all those things? Houston stays ready right there. So, Houston, where are you from? Just out of curiosity. Silverpunk, soak your sun shirt in the water and wear it. That'll keep you cool for a bit. Doc D Fries Sound and Video. What's up? Drink water, but BioLite is the best electrolyte drink. Okay, I'll check that out. Messick wants to know if I was eating breakfast or anything. Nah, dude, I don't know. I don't ever hardly eat anything. If I'm going to be honest, my typical breakfast for a tournament is my blood pressure medicine, my crazy medicine, my Adderall for my ADHD or whatever the hell it is they say I got, and then Copenhagen and Pepsi Zero. And I go to that all day long. He's from Cheatham County, Tennessee. Now, Tony brings up an interesting point. You may have overdone the liquid IVs. Yeah, I know. I have a habit. Like, I don't do anything just right. I either go overboard or not. That's what my wife says. One day, let's see, we were doing a deep sea fishing trip. Only time I've ever been seasick in my entire life. St. Patrick's Day weekend. I think, Tony, you might have heard this story. We got down there on a Friday night. We're going to get in the guide's boat to go deep sea fishing Saturday morning. Well, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend in Savannah, Georgia. So you can imagine what a group of 5 or 6 guys were doing. But my wife had given me a thing of Dramamine and some kind of ear oil. I don't even know what it was, but because I get seasick, or to prevent seasickness, because I can't get on them twirly rides or anything like that. So after a night of drinking and a little sleep, I get up the next morning and I got this Dramamine, and I'm one of those that if a little's good, a lot is better. So I probably took half a bottle of Dramamine, got on that boat, put that oil stuff out, started drinking a beer or two, and I think I puked for about, 4 hours. I never even got to fish. It was that bad. So anyway, okay, BioLite, I'm going to write that down. And, but do you think it could be, Tony? I might have overdone it on the liquid IV. But I tell you what, the fishing, now, since we want to do a little bit of fishing talk, I'll kind of give you guys a report on Latham. It's kind of like a mini Lake Lanier. If it had rocks, it would be a mini Lake Lanier. Largemouth spotted bass, got the blueback heron, got threadfin shad, perfect setup, deep, clear water. Started off the morning with a buzzbait, and it was not this particular one, but one like that. It's the squealer toad from Spro. Okay, now I threw a white one, so I had a silver blade, white frog. I normally, when I throw buzzbaits, I'm a skirted guy, but I got this fine product from Spro, and so I thought I would throw that thing. First thing I hit was any shady spot, because the sun here at Latham, the gates open late. By the time everybody loads their boats in, sun's already up. You miss about an hour and a half of probably the best fishing time. So I decided, had William, my partner, to hit some shady banks, and we fish in places that we don't normally fish. So I threw that thing in there, and I like the action of it. I'll be honest with you. Second cast, had one hit it, and of course, my Adderall kicked in. I set the hook way too quick. Went down by my, 5th or 6th cast, boom, 3-pound spot. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be the day. It's going to be a buzzbait morning. Went down some good stuff. Never got another bite on the buzzbait, which was kind of shocking. I talked to some other guys fishing that tournament. They were throwing a buzzbait too. Most everybody's fish that were weighed in were caught before 9 a.m. But I didn't get another bite on the buzzbait. And then I went with what everybody knows me for, the wacky worm. Couldn't get hit. Some fish would come up school, and I'd throw a Spro E-Pop in the blue with the chrome, and I'd pop some of those fish. I'm the king of the 2-pound bass. That's why I can't fish real tournaments. I'm the king of the 2-pound bass. I don't know how many 114s, 115s we caught, but what was weird to me was the wacky worm wasn't producing. And on Latham, that is just a given. I can go catch fish all day long normally on a wacky worm. So we kept fishing. The water temp was 84, got up to 86 at one point. As far as schooling, another interesting thing is they school year-round on Latham. You can be out there, unless it's 10 degrees outside. If it's just a regular winter day and you drive over, you'll see them schooling. But when they would come up Saturday, it seemed like it was 1, 2 fish, 3 fish, boom, and go back down. Real quick, nothing sustained, not blowing shad out of the water like crazy, at least in the areas we were at. But if you were lucky and they came up close, I could throw that E-Pop in there, boom. But just throwing the E-Pop and working it back didn't work. I think William, my partner, was throwing more of a walking style topwater bait, nothing. So the topwater was kind of really off. And going down fishing a lot. Later on in the tournament, we ran into a buddy of ours, Eric Richards. He watches the live well. He was fishing with his son, and he goes, he held one up. And I'm not lying. And this is how he described it. He goes, it's a 7-pound mouth with a 5-pound body. And sure enough, it was. Eric's a big dude. He could hold both his hands like that and stick it in that bass's mouth and not touch the sides. I think it ended up weighing 4.9, something like that right in there. I said, how'd you catch it? Well, his boy caught it on a wacky worm. I'm like, what's the deal? I've been throwing all day. You had to be Saturday, at least for us and for them, in 6 inches or less of water, under a shade line, a little bit of overhang. And so I was just throwing it, working it like I normally do. So once I started skipping it up on the bank, pretty much on the bank and hitting it, he wasn't lying. Those bass were hitting, and this was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Those bass were hitting, but they were hitting it right then and there. If your worm got even 4 feet off the bank, you did not get a bite. Let's see some of the comments. Cam goes, as far as Allatoona bass, all 7 we put in a boat was in a couple of feet of water, and there's some shady cover. Crankbait, jig, and creature bait on a Texas rig. And Tony said that's what happened on West Point. Mid-morning offshore needed boat traffic to get them to bite. Well, unfortunately, we don't get boat traffic on Latham. Did get a lot of kayakers. They started coming out. Messick Outdoors. Friday did the same thing for me on Greenwood. Bite was really good before the sun went down, and after dark, it died completely. We talked about that the other night. And Bill Payne, Alex, his boys have been telling people to throw their baits onto the shore for a while now. Alex, you have. You absolutely have. That's true. Corey Hamilton caught a nice 6-pounder that way this weekend. Danny, you look a little plum today. Do I look plum? Maybe the color's off? I don't know. Oh, y'all should see me. Well, I ain't taking my shirt off because I ain't got a bra on. We don't want to get caught by YouTube censors or anything like that with my C cup or anything. But I got a little sun. Top water must have been bad everywhere. They wouldn't hit anything on top at Russell Saturday. I actually thought we hit some top water. That's the thing, is I thought we would get some top water bites. But you had to honestly put it in the dirt. That's a Tim Wyatt and Justin Reynolds saying. They caught them in the dirt. And if you weren't in the dirt, at least with a wacky worm, and I'm sure there were guys out there scoping. I don't have any electronics like that on my electric-only rig. So if Cranking and Yanking ever watches this episode, he'll be happy with me. I fished Lanier Saturday. Clint said virtually no boat waves at all. Slick calm. Interesting. You think that was just because of the heat? Oh, they were busting all around me and wouldn't touch anything I threw out, Silverpunk said. So that's seriously, it was weird. I started with a popper and buzzbait tied on, but nothing on those Saturdays. So I got a few buzzbait bites. That Spro, I want to make sure, squealer toad, because I'm used to throwing a regular buzzbait. That squealer toad was working and it looked good, But that was it. And that was all before, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, because the sun was already up. Alex says topwater's been hit and miss for me. Really random with just one or two fish busting and then going back down. Plenty of friendly weight boat drivers as well, Cameron said like that. Cameraman Cletus. That's Clint for you guys that don't know that. So anyway, now that a few more of you guys are on here, I was telling the guys earlier, my feet were killing me after that day. And I was wearing my Hey Dudes. What do you guys wear when you're on the water? So that was this weekend. Now, today, I'm just looking outside right now, and I can tell it's hot. And all you guys, too, they got air conditioning. I did heating and air forever. Listen, when it is 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and your thermostat set on 70, your house ain't going to keep it at 70. It's going to be 75. That's the way it is. If you can keep it 20 degrees, the industry standard is like 20 degrees below the outdoor temperature. Chris Nichols, 101 in Maine. Holy Toledo. Chris, are you watching from Maine on Facebook? That's crazy. My daughter is in, she lives in Virginia, close to Norfolk. I say Norfolk, and all the people there, so that's how you say. I think it's Norfolk or whatever it is. They're under like an extreme heat advisory. It's supposed to be hotter in Virginia than it is here in Georgia. So he's watching in Maine, dude. 101 in Maine. What the hell do the moose do up there when it gets that hot? Huh? That's crazy. Moist Donut. My Lord at the name. How you guys get the names for your channels, I have no idea. Fish Bald Ridge this morning. Fish busting all over the top. Got one bite. And Cam says, I'm in a powder coating warehouse with ovens right now. Well over 100 in here. Yeah, Chris, 101 in May. So I used to do heating in there. And here's something like I did new construction. So whether it was the worst cold out there or the hottest of the hot, I was out there. My body was used to it. Well, now I can't say that no more. I guess I've gotten soft. He says the moose wallow in the swamp mud. Hey, there you go right there. So that's crazy. 101 in Maine. Now, Chris, since I got a guy from up north, what kind of fishing do you guys do in Maine when it's 101? What are you guys throwing up there? Because it's interesting because we think the South is really, really hot. Alex says, I'm going to stay for about 15 more minutes and I got to get a 30-minute nap in. Worked until 2 a.m. last night. No AC in the shop either. You better get that nap because we got a live well tonight. So, yeah, I need you fresh, babe. Glad my wheel loader has AC here in South Carolina, Messick says. It's pretty cool that you guys are all over the place watching this. And you do landscaping. What kind of fishing do you do, though, when it's that hot, Chris? Some of our lakes are still in spawn. Ain't that crazy right there? Ain't that crazy? In Maine, they're still spawning. And it is, getting ready to be July. George Thornton, what's up, buddy? Fished Tussahall Reservoir in Henry County Saturday. Surface temp was 85 degrees. Slow fishing. See, that's what I think a lot of the people found that out. You know, dog days usually get here about August. But it certainly felt like the dog days were here for sure. So, but I appreciate you joining us, all you guys from out of state. I think that's crazy that our little show, the live well in here, is getting out to people, and we're learning some more about how you guys fish in other areas of the country. I know in the live well we get, Crankin and Yankins from Louisiana. I think Steven, he was on here earlier. That's Illinois. A lot of Tennessee guys, Kentucky, like that. But Maine, that's awesome. John says Tussahall has some good fish in it. Now, let me ask you guys this. Facebook pushed you to me. Well, Chris, hey, if you join us, you can join us on YouTube at FNGO. And you can go there and you can watch all of our podcasts. This is just something new we're doing in the middle of the day. We're going to start doing this every day. Just people come in the shop, sit and talk anyway. So we thought, why not just take it out here to everybody? So that's pretty cool that Facebook pushed you there, pushed you to us. So right now I've caught them on a bunch of techniques. I've been noticing a lot of guys that are posting on Facebook right now. A lot of guys are throwing a drop shot. They're starting to throw that drop shot right now. So I'm assuming they're going down on deep brush. What's up, Jeremy Conkright? Will do. I go Western Maine. He goes for Western Maine bass. Interesting. I ain't been having much problems catching fish, just problems catching big ones. Shaky head, Nico rig, and drop shot have been catching all my daytime fish. So what would you guys have done differently? Just out of curiosity. Because like I said, I threw top water, was throwing a pro E-pop, threw the buzz bait, and then I was throwing the wacky worm. Fun fact, I found the live well trying to find info about herring lakes, and y'all provided everything I needed. Well, that's what we talk about. Fairy One, I'm out. Jeremy said, hey, listen, I threw a bait caster. I threw 3 rods all day, 2 more bait caster. Speaking of which, and I know it ain't the right setup, but I got that Spro. I forget the model number. I need to get it for tonight's live well. The big swim bait rod. And then I got that Jason Christie reel. That's what I was throwing that buzz bait on. Just because it's 7.9, I felt like it'd give me a little more oomph. And it did. I liked it. You found us with the Greenfish Tackle Guy episode. Yeah, pretty cool. Been getting them on spinnerbait and jig at night on rocks, lay down some points. So I'm going to start doing some night fishing too. I think we'll probably talk about that tonight on the live well a little bit because we're going to be talking about our favorite soft plastics. So that's at 8 p.m. tonight. I want you guys to join us. If you're watching, hey, listen, Chris Nichols. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we do a live podcast, and it's on our YouTube channel. Okay? We don't do it on Facebook. So we're on our YouTube channel, and go watch and join us tonight. That's so FNGO on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. But tonight, we're going to be talking about our favorite soft plastic baits. Now, I want to kind of get in depth on it. I want to know why you like a certain bait over the other. Like, I just don't want somebody to say zoom. Okay, well, I want to know why. Whether it's X Zone, whether it's cast, whatever it is, we want to know why. And we're not just going to talk about plastic worms. We're going to go into the swim baits. I think John is going to bring some bigger swim baits that are plastic. That works too. Your jig trailers and all that. We want to know why you like certain companies the way you do. Let's see. Western Maine Outdoors. I'm there. I am. He's there now. Our water just hit 75. That's Chris up there. Carson Fowler, fish tank tonight too. No, I'm not going to have the fish tank. I might do that. I might go clean that up. That's something to think about. Jeremy Conkright, I'm going nocturnal. It's too hot to do anything during the day. Absolutely. Western Maine said he'll set the alarm for tonight. Kyle Brown, Friday on tuna. Found them on deep brush, some floating, caught them on a chrome pencil popper. When they quit committing to that, I caught a few shaking the minnow, then hit them with the drop shot. And Alex is going to bring some stuff, probably from Tactical Fishing, I'm sure. He'll have some stuff tonight. But that drop shot, Kyle Brown, that's what I noticed a lot of people were showing on their Facebook and their Instagram pages. And yeah, that's right, Silver Punk. He's going to bring it. Moist Donut, the Sashimi Swimmer, and the Slick Stick were working well last week. 2 great baits. Big Bite Bait, something about the juice, it just works. Well, join us tonight, Jeremy. We're going to talk about it. Got a couple of things, I'm going to have my favorite brands and all that, but we really want to know what you guys think when it comes to that. Now, Robo Worm, Morning Dawn. Absolutely. Now, for you guys too, because we probably won't talk about this tonight, I want to make sure I hit it. How many of you guys watched the MPFL from Lake Eufaula this past weekend? And if you watched it, how many of you guys were pulling for Gerald Swindell? How many of you guys were pulling for the old dog, the old guard right there, to win that tournament? It was a tough bite. It was hot as hell. They had some bad weather, had to cancel day 1. The water was coming up, and it was nasty. And that's just absolutely right up his thing. But he didn't win. Chad, and I think it's Marlar. I want to make sure I say that right. Chad Marlar won. He had 33 pounds, 12 ounces. Gerald had 31 pounds, 11 ounces. How many of you guys were pulling for Gerald? Because I know he's a fan favorite. But I will tell you this, too. When he was up there on that stage, I did not realize how bow-legged G-Man was. Gerald Swindell is a fan favorite and a great fisherman. He's a great ambassador of the sport. But that is one of the most bow-legged human beings I have ever seen in my life. Swindell lost himself with having 6 in the live well. Yep, I was going to get ready to ask about that. He had 6 in the live well one time, and that's a mistake. Western Maine, I love G. He's really my favorite big-name pro. Dude's got great character. He does. One of these days, I'm going to get G-Man on the live well. I'm working that channel to try to do that. That's why we make sure we keep the NPFL guys happy, because Big Al and all them, they're number one, they're great people. But number two, they got access to a lot of great anglers now. And so I'm working on getting G-Man on here for you guys. I'd love to have him in studio, but if we can just get him to pipe in, hey, that's perfect right there. So, but were you disappointed? Were you just happy that he was in the top 5, had a great tournament, or were you really disappointed that he didn't win? Alex says, if you do, I'm working the boards that night if I get him. Luke Turner, what's up, buddy? Why do pros prefer drop shots over a Carolina rig? Maybe you guys in the comment section can answer that. Now, Kevin Thornton, when we were talking the other night about throwing nighttime baits, he said Carolina rig. A lot of guys don't say Carolina rig. But that's a good question, Luke. Why do the pros prefer the drop shot over a Carolina rig? And I don't have the answer to that, of course. But if you guys out there, you prefer the drop shot over the Carolina rig, and if so, why? George said, I pulled for Gerald. Looked like he was having some heat problems. Hell, everybody was there, that's for sure. You and G-Man together might get demonetized. Well, we might. We might absolutely do that. He did get excited, Western Maine. Kyle Brown said, glad to see him back at the top. Now, Jonah Ford, interesting thing, could be because it's easier to tie. I don't know. Jeremy Conkright says NPFL is the only tournament I watch. Bass Live is horrible, and MLF is too long to keep up with. Here's the answer to that question for you right there. It's a good point. Western Maine Outdoors. Bass like baits up off the bottom sometimes. That could be it there, Luke. Good point right there. I don't know. I will say this. I feel more comfortable throwing the drop shot than I do a Carolina rig, just because I simply don't throw it that often. But that's a good point. So Alex has got to go. We're gonna head out soon here ourselves, Alex. So you just make sure you get a nap, because I need you fresh tonight and all this. I went and got me. Listen, you guys that drink coffee, when we were in Puerto Rico, I've never had an iced coffee in my entire life, ever. And I thought people that got them were dumb. I'm not gonna lie. But up here at the grocery store up here above the shop, they got them a coffee shop in there, and I went in there and got me an iced caramel macchiato. Now, I don't feel like the most masculine man right now. That's right. It's not coffee. It's a milkshake. Listen, it ain't manly, but I'm telling you what, it's good. Great new concept, sir. Wu-Tang Fan 864. Hey, listen, we're just going to do this every day. About this time, unless I'm out and about, because like Friday, I don't know if I can do it Friday. I'm going to do it all week. I don't know if I can do it Friday, because I am going to be with Kevin Underwood on Lake Lanier Friday morning on his Patreon, fishing live with him and learning with you guys what he does. So you might want to go check out his Patreon. That's Lipsticker Fishing. And it'll be entertaining if nothing else, but I might not get back in time to do it. But I'm going to try to do it every day if I'm in the shop, just so we can get together and just have a midday kind of, you guys are on your lunch or you're sitting at work and you got nothing else to do, just having some fun talking. But back to the drop shot over the Carolina rig. Messick says, I feel like the drop shot produces more bites than the Carolina rig. And Jeremy Conkright says, I'll drag a ball and chain over a drop shot, can fish it twice as fast, and can tell what's on the bottom. So to each his own. So, I don't know. And I'll tell you what, next pro we get, Clint, Alex, Tony, if y'all on here next time, remind me to ask them if they like a drop shot over a Carolina rig, and if so, why? So, but other than that, we kind of talked about the heat and everything. If you guys are out there, anybody listening and you're working in the heat today, God bless you. Number one, make sure you hydrate and do a better job than I do. So tonight, 8 p.m. on Fish North Georgia, FNGO. I'm still saying Fish North Georgia. We're trying to change everything over to FNGO. The live well, 8 o'clock. You guys that are watching on Facebook, make sure you watch it on YouTube, because it's going to be YouTube only. Join us. We want to talk about your favorite soft plastics, okay? So with that, you guys join us tonight. That's going to be our first little episode of the I want to get Steven's question real quick. Never fished a drop shot. Are they only fished vertically? No. Now, the old school way of fishing the drop shot was to pull, when you had 2D sonar, pull over, drop it straight down, do your little doodling. But a lot of people, myself included, especially now with forward facing sonar, will sit back off a brush pile and will cast and then slowly drag and just trying to keep that worm, which it is a little bit tougher. But I did that some Saturday and didn't get a bite either. And I will say there's a little trick. Now, I'll throw this out there. And this is something that I have to give LJ at Lanier Baits credit for on a podcast. If you're throwing and casting a drop shot, normally he'll take his weight tag, and he makes it a little bit longer. So normally if he's going vertically, you might get 12 inches or something. But if he's casting it, he'll go 18, sometimes 24. And the reason being is if you ever cast it to a bank and you're on a slope like this, that longer tag line, it's kind of hard to describe. Your line's coming through at an angle, but it keeps that worm kind of in that 12 to 18 inch thing going down the slope because your weight's dragging behind. So if you don't lengthen that tag, your worm's going to be on the bottom. Let's see. Doc Holiday, what's up, buddy? You're right. It looks like the river here after the rain. Western Maine, I consider them two different categories completely. One's more power and one's more finesse. Carolina's definitely the power one right there. So Steven says, Carson Fowler says, Steven, you can cast him at the bank and wear him out. You can, but you got to do a few little tricks like that. So anyway, all right, that's going to be our end of our first little lunch break. Went about 31 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow doing that again, and we'll come up with something. And you guys listen. Always think about, if you're going to be watching this when we do this, think about some stuff you want to talk about because, like I said, this is going to be a little more free-flowing. We could have talked politics for 30 minutes. I don't care. We just want to give you guys a chance to get on with us. And make sure, if you're watching on Facebook and you want to watch the live well, that is YouTube only. So with that, I'm going to get back to work. Got a lot to do. You guys, hey, if you're out there, stay hydrated, stay cool. We're going to good idea for this quick segment. Yeah. Thanks, Silverpunk. It's going to be fun. We're going to do this every day. And also, I'm going to start bringing you some news. I get a lot of emails in the morning to have news, new bait releases and stuff like that. And I'll try to keep you guys in the loop with what I see as a shop owner and all that. So we're going to see you tonight, 8 p.m. You guys be good. Get back to work. See you in 6 hours, Clint. That's right. We'll see you tonight on the live well, 8 p.m. You guys have the good rest of your day. And click my buttons here. There we go.